Hello, everybody. What's going on? This is Andrew, and today I'm going to be diving into Standard on Magic Arena after the release of Crimson Vow. But I wanted to tell a little bit of a story about why I decided to play the deck I'm playing today and what I hope it can do. So, the last Standard video I posted was a deck building video where I went over Overcharged Amalgam and some cards that I think could be really good to pair with Overcharged Amalgam. And while I was building that deck, I went over some green options and really focused on like building this bigger flash deck with Overcharged Amalgam. And I feel like I completely overlooked a pretty obvious option that was staring me right in the face the whole time, which is pairing Amalgam with Shambling Ghast and some of the other sacrifice synergies, like Biolume Egg and Deadly Dispute, to make this bigger blue-black flash deck. And while I haven't played this deck yet, I wanted to call attention to this deck as kind of the level 0 build of what I put together for today's Standard. So I wanted to just to mention this deck. This is more of a mid-rangey deck, and I think a deck like this would probably work best once we know what all of the threats in the format are. We can guess what the threats in the format are, but until we know for sure, a deck like this, might struggle a little bit. Might be a little too rough around the edges. And I don't know if Amalgam and Hullbreaker Horror go in the same deck. Both are great flash blue creatures, but they kind of do different things. So for today's video, I'm going to move away from Hullbreaker Horror. The world has already discovered how gross Hullbreaker Horror can be. I'm going to come back to that one a little bit later. I still want to try a big like blue-green flash deck and see if it can work there. But for now, we're going to focus on a part of Overcharged Amalgam, again, that I overlooked. It's a zombie. Shambling Ghast is a zombie. And there's a bunch of great zombies in Standard. So, that brings us to this. I think with Champion of the Perished, Shambling Ghast, Jadar, Tainted Adversary, and Overcharged Amalgam, zombies have plenty of power to be a competitive deck. But what you build around them is still kind of up in the air. So I've got something here. I'm not going to suggest that what I've got is the best version of the deck. But I think that in a zombies deck with Overcharged Amalgam, you want Jadar and you want Shambling Ghast for sure. So since you've got those, I think playing Felstinger is kind of cute, and it's a great way to reload and keep up on your cards. And it's an aggressive creature. It's a 3/2 with Death Touch. It's pretty good on the board. Blade Stitch Scab is a nice aggressive creature. It's also a 2/3, so it blocks some things. And then we've got Narfi Betrayer King here at the top end. This is from Kaldheim, and it powers up your other zombies. So I'm just putting two of these up here. I don't know how deep we want to go, but I think a 2 of sounds about right. I've got some Dread Fugues in the main deck. I think that this card can be main deckable depending on what the format looks like. It's never really dead because you can always cast it for 3. And then I'm splitting up the removal a little bit. I've got a Bloodchief's Thirst, a Infernal Grasp, and a Chill of the Grave. I would not be surprised if Chill of the Grave ends up being super playable in Standard. The fact that it draws you a card and locks down their biggest thing for 2 turns is huge, and that might be just enough that the zombies need to break through, basically. Over here on the sideboard, I've got 3 Duresses, a couple Test of Talents, a couple Go Blanks, because I still think this card's pretty good, an extra Bloodchief's Thirst, a Ray of Enfeeblement for the white decks, a couple Parasitic Grasps, also for the white decks, another Chill of the Grave, some Crippling Fears, and I'm going to try a Draugr Necromancer. If the format ends up being more creature heavy, I could see this card just being good enough to play. You get to kill their things and then you can cast them again. So I'm planning on bringing this in the grindier matchups where I expect us to be trading removal spells. I want to try it. This card was great in draft. It could be good here. The mana base is mostly black. I'm playing all 4 ice tunnels because while the pathways are great, they're not good at splashing for a double blue card. So all 4 ice tunnels are here. We've got some snow basics, some Field of Ruins, and an Agadeem's Awakening. that's the deck. Let's jump into a couple of matches and see if we can aggro some people out with our zombies. So I've mentioned it before on stream, but I am a fan of aggressive decks that can play just the right amount of disruption to get under control decks and beat other aggro decks. I don't know if zombies is the perfect deck, but it could be. This hand is terrible though. We have our two only 5-drops in our hand and not consistent mana, so we're gonna mulligan. This looks a lot better. We'll keep this. And I'm gonna put the backup Blade Stitch scab on the bottom, I think. Yeah. My Dread Fuging. You know what? I am gonna do this. I don't know what they're playing. Let's see if they have a 2-drop. They do. This is mono white, or not mono white. This is like an Abzan Angels deck. Let's take their Catilda. Now they can join the dance. We'll play this and play Jadar. Seems like it could be a bad matchup for us, but our sideboard is pretty well set up to take advantage of them. Well, kind of. Adeline was a great draw. We're not blocking. This thing's just going to kill us really fast. This is a free attack. They'll probably just block, but there's no reason to not to attack. There's the Chaplain of Alms. Adeline's big now. They're also playing Valentine. Interesting. We're just super dead. Oh, Shambling Ghast. This is not gonna do it. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. And they got the Intrepid Adversary. Yeah. Okay. Usually 3-color decks struggle to have aggressive draws like that, but our opponent figured it out. We're going to bring in all of our removal. Do we bring in the Chill? Probably. The Dread Fugues come out. White. Do I want to leave white in? Jadar probably comes out. Jadar's not very good at blocking. Need 2 more cuts. Might be like a overcharged amalgam. And maybe it is the white. Or like a Fellstinger? Let's do Fellstinger. I have faith in white being good. So we have a sideboard for this matchup. Let's see if all of our removal lines up okay. They have Lisa in their deck, which could be tough for us to deal with. Yeah, this seems okay. Not great, but this is okay. All the lands we need. Just need to find a couple more creatures and we'll be okay. Hopefully. Got Ice Tunnel on 1 here. Then we get to go Ice Tunnel on 3 also. They have a 1-drop. The Valentine. Okay. I think we just attack through that. So this says, if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, they can exile it and then pay 2 to make pests when that happens. think I just run out the Tainted Adversary here. Put pressure on the board. There's Catilda and Chaplain of Alms. Notably, their board does not match up very well against what we're doing at the moment. I'm pretty confident just smashing. And then pass. Overcharged Amalgam looking pretty good here. Yeah, we'll counter that. Exploit Blade Stitch Scob. Oh, that triggers Valentine. That's fine. Another Chaplain, and another Chaplain, sure. There's Narfi, but for now we're just gonna go Blade Stitch Scob, Blood Chief's Thirst, the Catilda, and then attack. And then next turn Narfi comes down. Pretty sticky threat. All attacks is interesting. Uh-oh, I can't block that, and I don't want to block those? Sure. I don't want to block these because I don't want to let them cast the backside. We'll just play Narfi here, and all attack. Yep. Cool. That went pretty well, I'd say. They just had mono 1-drops, and we were able to outclass them. I'm happy with how we sideboarded. I think, since they have infinite 1-drops and 2-drops, Dreadfugue still looks okay. But I don't know if I have anything else I want to take out. Like, maybe white is bad here because it enters the battlefield tapped. But if this ever kills anything, I just get a 2/2. And I'll just run it back. Really happy with how that post-sideboard game went, so we had a good draw, our opponent had a good draw. Let's see how the last game goes. Yeah. His hand looks great. Snarl Valentine, yep. We'll go land Shambling Ghast. Shambling Ghast does so many things. We'll go... just Swamp Tainted Adversary, I think. And just pass. I want to double block this thing, if I get the chance. There's Adeline, who unfortunately doesn't die to Crippling Fear, but would die if she attacked in. I'll just play Shipwreck Marsh and pass. Gotta find a way to kill Adeline. Parasitic Grasp doesn't do it. Laid to Rest. Whenever a human dies, draw a card. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, you gain 2 life. Yeah, that's cute, opponent. Okay, they're gonna attack here, which is actually gonna let me... Not sure what's gonna happen here. I think this isn't gonna die. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should have blocked this too. Oh no, I couldn't. Okay, that's fine. Okay, there's a backup Shambling Ghast. That works for me. Chaplain of Alms, sure. It's kind of a free attack here. Little do they know that this block's going to let me kill Adeline. Oh, this counts the tokens? Jeez. Sure. Shoot Adeline. I get to draw another card. And I'm just flooding out now. Am I attacking with this? Am I racing them? Sure, let's attack. This card actually gonna be tough to beat here. Maya, Bredegard Protector. Landfall, make a human. Yep. Okay. Oh, come on, deck. I think I have to Crippling Fear now. Kill everything, they draw 4 cards. Yeah, we're gonna get got by this Laid to Rest card. I did not expect this. There's nothing... I guess I could play, Feed the Swarm to kill enchantments out of the sideboard. Maybe something I need to do. I could also just draw some spells, that would be good. Our opponent's got like 8 cards in hand, infinite spells. And I'm over here with only lands. Didn't even draw any Hive of the Eye Tyrants. Okay, what are you gonna name with your Silencer? Sure. Cool. Concede to the 10th land. Well, our opponent got us with that Laid to Rest card, but in that second game we got to see what this deck can do. Let's jump into another match. Okay, Shadow Storm. Let's do battle. I hope my deck lines up a little bit better. That Humans deck definitely just kind of had our number. This hand looks fine, though. Mono red? Mono red. This hand actually lines up really well into mono red. Kill their thing. Then play a 2-3, and then play another 2-3. Not mono red, vampires. Gotcha. Hope I find a land next turn. This is the infinite problem, isn't it, with these decks? Some games you draw all of your lands, and some games you draw 0 of them. I'll block. I'm the control deck here for sure. Cool, found a land, so I get to go... Do I go Champion plus Tainted Adversary? Or do I Infernal Grasp this? I think I'm going Champion plus Infernal Grasp this. This draws them cards. I don't really want them to be able to draw cards. So I'm just going to slow roll what I'm doing here. I guess I'll Infernal Grasp now. That way, if they chose instant... Oh, it was a sorcerer anyways. Well, that's fine. Notably, this card is symmetrical. So they're going to put a creature under this, and now whenever either of us casts a creature, we take 2. It's like Eidolon. It is symmetrical. I'm guessing they're getting priority because they have this blood token. Would have liked to have drawn a land there. But Blade Stitch Scab is, I guess, okay. Makes this a 2-2. It's a 2-3. It can block the Gatekeeper. No attacks. This has first strike. Can't attack into it. I would like to draw an untapped land, please. Looks like our opponent's kind of stuck on lands too, though. Okay, Frostbite for Champion of the Parish, sure. And what else? Anything? If I were them, I would have attacked first. I would have snapped off this block. They could have frostbit and then dealt damage to it. That's what I would have done. Am I gonna take a bunch of damage from this thing? I think so. Let's attack. Opponent's really tanking on all of the decisions here. Discard Malakir Rebirth. Sure. Take 2. Take 2 more. Now an untapped land kind of seals the game for me, in a way. Because then I can get Overcharged Amalgam down. I'm hoping they just have removal spells here. Cool. Super happy with that. No attacks. Come on. Untapped land. Chill is fine, though. Am I attacking with this? Don't think I need to. I think I'll just chill. Okay, they're finding their lands now. But what are they doing with their lands? That's the question. Apparently, it's a very tough question. They can't activate Den of the Bugbear. They've got 2 spells in hand, I'm guessing. Since it looks like they're just drawing lands off the top of their deck and playing them, they missed a land drop or 2. Yeah? Do you want to attack now? No? Cool. I'll Chill of the Grave that. I have been having a lot of fun casting this card in Seal or in Limited, so it's showing up here. We'll attack. Hit ya, go. Westgate region. What does this do? Flying, discard a card. Cool. So I'm gonna do all the things this turn. Sacrifice Shambling Ghast. Triggers go in the stack. This targets that. This keeps that -1/-1. Cool. Did all the things. My turn. They have a land? Yeah. Attacks, go. I've got the Field of Ruin for the Den of the Bugbear also. Dominating Vampire, yep. And we won! Yay! Crippling Fear looks good. Honestly, Draugr Necromancer looks pretty good here. The Blood Chief's Thirst, the Chill of the Grave. I still might want the Parasitic Grasp, even though they don't have humans. As a 3-mana removal spell, it's still pretty okay. The Dread Fugues come out again. Trim an Amalgam. Trim a Fell Stinger, and trim the Jadars, because they're no good on defense. Yeah. Think that's a plan. I do like this deck. I think it's missing something. I think it's missing a good, consistent form of card advantage. The Fell Stingers help. Is that what the card's called? The Scorpion thing that draws you cards. They help. But I don't know if that's enough. And we don't have like a Curious Obsession or something like that. We have the Curious Cat thing, which is way too slow. And then we have the Werewolf. But I think if we're playing Werewolf, that's a whole different deck, basically. And I don't know if you can get enough zombie synergy in there. So maybe what this deck has is good enough. Maybe it needs more Chill of the Graves to tap things down and draw cards. I have been impressed with that card. It does a lot for 2 mana. Our opponent is either has a terrible connection, bad computer, is multitasking, something. They are taking a long time to make relatively simple decisions, like do they want to play first or not? Assuming the answer is yes, they would like to play first. Come on, Shadowstorm. If their timer ticks down to like basically 0 and then they just like play the game, I'm gonna be a little frustrated. I try not to be too like I try not to judge what my opponent might be doing that might be causing them to take a long time. Maybe something came up, maybe something happened. It's impossible to really know. But it's frustrating when it ends up taking a lot of time. This hand's great. We're gonna go Swamp Ghast on 1, probably. Then Island Scob on 2, tap land on 3, and then hopefully another untapped land on turn 4. Would be what we want to do here. Looks like our opponent might have given up. Or they disconnected or had to go or something. I wish they would have just hit the concede button, if that was the case. So right now they're just ticking down. Then the game will pop and then we'll win. Nope, they're back. Cool. Glad we played that little game. So now I'm going to play Hive on 1 instead of the Snow-Covered Swamp. This is now my 4th land. So it's going to go boom, 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 boom. If I were my opponent, I would not play a creature out here. Now they can't attack with the Pit Fighter. They could have attacked with Pit Fighter first, traded, and then played their 1/1. Now they can't attack. Nice. Right on time. And again, I don't think our opponent has a 1-mana black spell. I think that they are just getting priority because of the blood token. These 2/3s, this and the Tainted Adversary being 2/3s, is pretty good in these small creature matchups. They can block these vampires well. They can block Thalia pretty well. Null Priest of Oblivion, sure. It's gonna get blocked pretty well. They have a Faceless Haven. What is our opponent doing? There's no way they can ever play this card. I'm just gonna Chill of the Grave the Null Priest here, I think, and then Crippling Fear the following turn. And that should just be the game. I'll still have to race the Faceless Haven, but I think I'll be able to do that. Yeah, sure. Slaughter Specialist, yep. Oh, I should have chilled that. Oh, this isn't great, I guess. I'm making that bigger now. Yeah, that was a mistake. I should not have done that. I was thinking, like, oh great, now I can just say human with crippling fear. And everything's fine. It's a little more complicated than that. I think I played myself there. Yeah, I should have just let the damage happen and then cast the -3/-3 thing afterwards. I got excited. I was like, oh, I can name human now and keep my token. Do I care about this? No, that can resolve. Chill that. I guess they can they can use the Falconwrath Pitfighter to sacrifice the Slaughter Specialist if they want. No. Okay. Narfi's a fine draw. Yeah, actually, I don't want to block. Because I don't want this to grow anymore. So let's get Narfi down. This trades with this. This holds back the Pit Fighter. Hopefully I can get myself out of this Slaughter Specialist problem that I have now. Okay, they do have the Immersturm Predators. I was wondering if these were going to be in here. Play Champion of the Perished. Then we'll just pass. And we'll see what they do here. Okay, it's just slamming their land. Turning on Den of the Bugbear, yep. And attacking with everything, sure. I don't want to discard anything. I'm wondering if I just flash this in to block the Pit Fighter. So, like, I'll let this happen. Let that happen. This comes in. Makes that a 3/3 decline. And then we'll go block here, block here, block here, block here. Oh, but if Narfi dies, my Amalgam dies if I block like this. So I've got to go Amalgam on that. And Champion on this. And I'll leave this behind for Felstinger to eat later. One, two, three, four, five, six. So now I can attack for one. And then make sure to tap that. Felstinger. Exploit the human. I would like to draw 2 and lose 2. Then I'll just pass. Predator's getting big. The only way I have to deal with this is... Cool. I'll bring this back. Cool. Turn on Faceless Haven, yep. Attack with everything. That's a 5/5. I think I just blocked the Faceless Haven. Take 6, go to 1. Yep, I'm at 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I could attack with my with Narfi here, because I've got the eye to block the 1/1. I think I will. I don't think I'm scared of a haste threat out of them. They haven't shown me what... they've shown me Dominating Vampire. Okay, I won't block. Or I won't attack. They can't dominate any of my stuff. I will attack. And then I'm going to double Crippling Fear the following turn. And that kills the Predator. Yeah. As long as they can't get a sorcery, I'm okay. Oh, they could choose land. Please just choose creature. Please choose creature. Yes, they chose a creature. Whew! Yep. Turn on my Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Block, block. I'm gonna do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Crippling Fear. Choose Zombie. Crippling Fear. Choose Zombie. Attack. Okay. I beat an Immerstrom Predator. Okay, Florian's annoying, but I can deal with Florian. This gets Menace, right? I'm gonna take the Predator. I'm attacking with that instead because I can bring this back for free. I've drawn a lot of lands. I'd like to draw some spells now, please. Oh no! I was navigating that game so well. Okay, so they have Immerstrom Predator. Card's a bit of a butt face. I wonder if I need to bring in the Dread Fugues to deal with it. Like, Crippling Fear can tag it the turn it comes down. Otherwise, it's not super great at dealing with it. So I think I will bring the Dread Fugues back in and, like, trim a white. And I don't love Infernal Grasp, but I think I kind of need it to keep the board clear. Trim it like that. Okay. Let's beat vampires. Assuming our opponent figures out how they want to sideboard relatively quickly. I really thought we were going to turn that game around and win it, but then they found their one drop that deals a damage to me when I was at 1, so that's how it goes. I think they'd gone through at least 1, if not 2 of those. Definitely feel like I did the best I could have given the cards I had. This hand looks good. No snow mana for the Necromancer, but Field of Ruin to deal with their creature lands. Aggressive start. Please just have the 1/1. Oh, they just have a Frostbite? Sure. Oh no! I'm an idiot. It's fine. How about the blue side, please? There's Slaughter Specialist. I have the kill spell for it right away. This time. I'm just firing this off, waiting for them to cast a spell. What am I doing? I think I'll just wait for them to cast a spell. Let's go ahead and shoot the Slaughter Specialist. Maid of Dishonor comes down, makes a blood token. Overcharged Amalgam. Okay. I think I just go Tainted Adversary, activate. Make some zombos. Dominating Vampire can steal something from me for the turn. They can't do anything with it, right? They can't like sacrifice it. It's just a 3/4 that's gonna hit me. I can chump block if I want to. Yeah. I'll chump block the 4/5. Take 3. I'll get my Tainted Adversary back. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd like to... Crippling Fear. I can't play Overcharged Amalgam because I messed up my, my pathways earlier. Crippling Fear right now doesn't do a ton for me, but I'm thinking about playing Necromancer first. If this survives for a turn, I get to do some cool stuff. Because Crippling Fear lets me potentially cast these two. Okay. Well, we're still kind of at a stalemate, though. Getting rid of a Deadly Dispute, huh? What's going on here? Okay. To be fair, I think our opponent was in a rough spot. So, let's recap. This can block this and trade with it whenever it wants. That's fine. The Dominating Vampire doesn't do a ton. I would just let it hit me and then clean it up with a Crippling Fear at some point in time. If I draw any untapped land, I can play it, use 2 mana, and the Field of Ruin. So say I find a swamp, swamp, Field of Ruin, blows up the Faceless Haven, gets me an island. Now I can Overcharged Amalgam, sacrifice a Decayed token to counter a spell. So I'm in a really good spot. I can Crippling Fear next turn if I need to clean things up. Otherwise, I can just hold up Overcharged Amalgam for their next big spell. I do think I'm ahead in this game, but it's still really close. And if I don't find a blue land, I'm a little behind. But I did not expect our opponent to concede there. Not sure what was going on. You know, they'd used a lot of their clock, but who knows? So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think zombies are the best deck. I'm not somebody who traditionally loves playing zombies. But I think that this iteration of zombies in this current format has a lot of value tied to it. And the value that goes with it is something I'm really interested in. So we saw Shambling Ghast, we saw Overcharged Amalgam, and we saw Tainted Adversary and Blade Stitch Scab all show up and perform. The supporting pieces are still kind of iffy. I'm not sure exactly where you want to be with some of the sideboard slots, and that's going to change and evolve as the format grows. But I definitely think there's something here. I wouldn't be surprised if Fellstinger and Chill of the Grave end up making it into the deck in some way, shape, or form. Jadar is the 2-drop I'm playing right now because I think he goes really well with some of the exploit things, and he's on color. I think he's one of the best black creatures we can be using here. You could potentially try using the Wretched Throng. Right? Throng. This thing, when it dies, you can get another one. It's like reverse Squadron Hawk. But it's blue, and it's, even though the mana is good, I don't know how good the mana is. So maybe Wretched Throng instead of Jadar. But the rest of the pieces kind of build themselves. Narfi was sweet as like a 2 of at the top. Yeah, I'm going to keep working on this deck, messing around with it. I definitely think there's some power here. So let me know if you liked this deck, if you have any ideas for other zombies that could go into this deck. I hope you enjoyed my take on it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you next time.